September 1st, 1939. Germany invades Poland. The world would never be the same. What followed was a chain of events that dragged Europe, and soon the entire globe, into the deadliest conflict in human history, World War II. But how exactly did the war break out in Europe? And how did it escalate so quickly? Let's travel back to 1939 and uncover the events that started the greatest war in history. 2 days later, Britain and France issued an ultimatum to Hitler: withdraw from Poland or face war. When Germany ignored it, on September 3, 1939, they officially declared war on Germany. Yet despite this declaration, little actual fighting happened in Western Europe during the first months. This strange lull became known as the Phony War, with Allied troops waiting along the French border but taking no action while Poland was crushed. Germany's lightning-fast blitzkrieg tactics, using tanks, planes, and mechanized infantry, overwhelmed Poland. Meanwhile, at sea, Germany deployed its deadly U-boats, attacking Allied merchant ships, sparking the early stages of the Battle of the Atlantic. By September 8th, German troops reached Warsaw, surrounding the Polish capital. A Polish counteroffensive briefly stalled them but was eventually outflanked. Warsaw surrendered on September 27th, and by October 6th, the last Polish forces laid down their arms. Just when Poland seemed cornered, a second blow came. On September 17th, the Soviet Union invaded eastern Poland, claiming to protect the region after Poland's government collapsed. In reality, it was part of a secret deal, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a non-aggression treaty between Germany and the USSR, which secretly divided Poland between the two powers. Though Poland was occupied, it never truly surrendered. A Polish government in exile formed in France, later relocating to London. Thousands of Polish soldiers escaped through Romania and Hungary, eventually joining Allied forces in Britain, France, and beyond. Meanwhile, Hitler celebrated his victory and offered Britain and France peace, on the condition that Germany kept Poland. The Allies rejected it, preparing instead for the inevitable wider war. While Hitler looked westward, Stalin turned his gaze north. In late 1939, he pressured Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania into signing pacts that allowed Soviet troops to station in their countries. Soon, these Baltic states would be fully occupied by the USSR. But Finland refused Soviet demands, leading to the brutal Winter War. In November 1939, the Soviet Union invaded Finland. Despite facing a vastly larger army, Finnish soldiers used guerrilla tactics, skis, and the harsh winter to their advantage. For over 3 months, they humiliated the Red Army, destroying tanks with homemade Molotov cocktails, named mockingly after Soviet Foreign Minister Molotov. However, by March 1940, sheer Soviet numbers forced Finland to sign a treaty, ceding territory but remaining independent. Meanwhile, on the Western Front, the so-called Phony War dragged on. British and French troops waited behind the Maginot Line, expecting a German assault that never came, yet. Behind the scenes, Hitler prepared for a spring offensive against France and the Low Countries. Bad winter weather delayed his plans, giving the Allies a false sense of security. By mid-1940, Stalin annexed Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and parts of Romania. Meanwhile, Hitler pressured Romania into ceding northern Transylvania to Hungary, sparking political chaos. A coup replaced King Carol II with the fascist leader Ion Antonescu, bringing Romania into the Axis orbit. Both Germany and the Soviet Union eyed each other suspiciously, secretly preparing for conflict even as their pact held, temporarily. By early 1940, Europe was on edge. Germany had conquered Poland. The Soviet Union was expanding westward. Britain and France remained locked in a defensive stance. The uneasy pause was about to explode. In just months, Germany would unleash its blitzkrieg westward, conquering France in mere weeks, and by 1941, Hitler would turn on his uneasy ally, Stalin, opening the bloodiest front of the war. This was only the beginning of World War II in Europe.